One great way of adding that little bit extra to your silence film and helping carry the story forward is by adding music to it. So let's have a look at how we do that in Davinci Resolve. So I've got my timeline built out here already. I've got some drone footage in here, some interview, and then some more kind of landscape B-roll footage, and then some more interview, and then an out at the end. So you can see from these waveforms here that are attached to the interview that she's speaking. Tamara's speaking there as part of the interview. But with the drone footage, there's nothing. There's silence in audio track 1. So we want to add something in there, and we're going to add music. So I've already downloaded some. I've got some over here. I got it from Soundstripe. If you want to know where to get music that you're allowed to use, there's a video all about that on our website. But just make sure you're allowed to use that music. And I'm going to double click on it, and then it'll bring up this waveform at the top. Now, I could just take 30 seconds from this from anywhere, because this we only need a little bit of it. It's a 3.5 minute clip. We only need 30 seconds. But a natural introduction and a natural ending to a song is obviously the introduction and the ending. So we can actually just take the first kind of 10 seconds and the last 20 seconds. So I'm going to drag this all the way to the start. And maybe just use that section. I can press O as an out point and drag that down to A2 to the second part. And then I'm going to go back in, drag it all the way to the end, press I, and then drag in that bit as the out point. So somewhere around there. I'm going to drag this across so they meet in the middle, and then we should have some minutes good to go.
Playground, so...
I mean, almost. I mean, we got that good start section where it starts playing the music, but then it's too loud when she's talking. So we're just going to go back in and make sure we dip it down where she's talking. We're also going to make sure that this introduction and the outro, the end, merge together. So we're going to go in here, we're going to zoom in, and we're going to use, make sure you're not clicked on anything on either of these two. I'm going to right click and add 25 frames of crossfade, so it crosses between one and the other. Zoom back out slightly, and then we're going to do this for the beginning of when she starts talking and the end. We're going to fade across from something that's higher in volume to something that's lower in volume. So we're going to use our razor blade, this one here. So just blade it there at the start of when she starts talking, and then at the end. And we can do the same thing on the next section where she starts talking and at the end. And then we're going to click back on our arrow, and then we're going to make sure that we crossfade between these. So right click, add 25 frames of crossfade, right click, 25 frames of crossfade, and the same back here too. Right click, 25 frames of crossfade, right click, 25 frames crossfade. If you've got one of these selected, it might think that you want to add it to the left side or the right. So just make sure none of them selected, and it'll cross between the two. Now we can grab this section and drag it down to about minus 20, 25, something like that. That's little, this little bar down to about minus 20, and the same for this one, down to about minus 20. And what you'll see now is a crossfade between one volume, the high volume, and then the lower volume as well.
Playground, so Chamonix has become my absolute favourite place to explore, just because there's so much.
And you'll notice as well that because this now is dropped in volume and it's hidden behind Tamara talking, you don't notice the transition between the start of the song and the end of the song.
My absolute favourite place to explore, just because there's so much to do. You know, you could come back here year after year and never get...
Obviously, what she's saying doesn't kind of make sense in context. I just stole those interview bits to put in, but the music sounds good now.
It's just such a personal...
You've got that last beat for the out as well. You've also got this audio section up here where you can do little things with as well. But the music parts now, that all seems good to me. Just making sure that the music isn't playing too loud over the top of Tamara talking. So music can really help kind of fill in those gaps and those silences when you don't have anything, the person talking doesn't have anything to say, or you just want to add in some establishing shots or a little bit of B-roll, just for a bit more dynamics, just for a little bit of extra, something for the audience to look at. And that's the best way that I know how to do it in Davinci Resolve.